Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the aftermath. Well, what can I say? It was a fantastic game on Saturday. Arsenal 2, Manchester City 2. I kind of knew that Arsenal were going to come flying out of the blocks, even though it was straight after the international break. It was a big game, playing against a big team. We had a new signing in Danny Welbeck, and I thought Arsenal started off the game brilliantly. Danny Welbeck threw on goal, chipped it, hit the post. Everybody in the stadium thought it gone in. I was actually celebrating, only for it to come back off the post. Really, really unlucky. And I thought it was some harsh... You know what, I read something in the paper today, and I couldn't believe it. They were like, oh, that's why he's not clinical enough. He should have... Listen, he done everything right. He was unlucky there. You saw Falcao today. He had a similar chance, and he hit it straight against the keeper. What, is he not clinical enough? Give the guy a chance. I saw great signs from Danny Welbeck, hard-working. He looked a threat. He looked sharp. And remember, he's not even up to full speed. He doesn't even know his teammates yet. So, great things to come from Danny Welbeck. And what a brilliant performance by Alexis Sanchez. The finishing of that second goal was unbelievable. His energy, his skill, they couldn't cope with him, Manchester City. And this year is 3 goals in 3 games for Alexis Sanchez. He's already starting to pay back the money we've paid for him. It's almost as if we've sort of forgotten that we bought this world-class player. Because it came down to the last day of the window and we were all hoping for big signings and we were after this player and that player, we forgot that about 6 weeks before we bought this world-class player called Alexis Sanchez, and he is starting to deliver. I mean, at the moment, he's looking like one of the signings of the summer, and he is going to be absolutely brilliant for Arsenal. And listen, 2-2 in the end was a fair result. You've got to give it to City. They went ahead a bit against the run of play. Arsenal got it back, then went in front. Then poor defending from Arsenal. City get back in the game, and they could have even have nicked it in the end. But I think 2-2 was a fair result. Real high quality game. Really enjoyed it. And listen, if we play like that in every game with that intensity, improve the defending, but play like that with that intensity, we're going to be right up there this season. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but we will be right up there. Let's see what you guys had to say about it in your tweets. Kicking off with Clock End Red, he said, Arsenal, very pleasing performance overall compared to the previous games this season. He said the Debuchy injury killed the moment at the end. And that did have a part to play, because we were flying. We were absolutely flying. Then Debuchy got that injury, was down for about 5 minutes. They stretched him off. Everybody's wondering, oh, is it another one of those where he's going to be out for the season, you know? And I don't know, it deflated the players a bit. And then they switched off, and then City got that equaliser. But the Debuchy incident, I think, did have a little bit to do with it. Ramirez says, the team looked very impressive. Sadly, Debuchy injury distracted us. Not a bad result. Lots of positives to take. So he says the same thing. James Farley says, great atmosphere. Gutted, but pleased. Jack was back to his best. Alexis, superb too. But we need to work on the defence. Ain't that the truth? I mean, I just don't get our defending at times. It's just too easy for teams to score against us. We've got to lock it down. Clive Gorshi says, promising signs in the offensive area. It's very strong. Ozil is not a wing player, he says. We need a strong defensive midfielder, and we've got no depth at the back. I agree there. Ozil, playing him out on the wing, it doesn't work. He doesn't work hard enough. We bought this guy as one of the best number 10s in the world. That's where we need to play him, in behind those strikers, so he can supply the ammunition to them. We need somebody else out there on the wing. And yes, he's right. Defensive midfielder. I mean, the first goal, Flamini was really at fault for that. I thought Flamini yesterday had a pretty poor game in my judgment. Switched off for a couple of the goals. But listen, we knew we should have addressed that, and we haven't. Excuse me. On the upside, I suppose Arteta is coming back, who, in my opinion, I argue a lot with fans, but in my opinion, I think Arteta is a better option in that position than Flamini. Dylan Cato says, Arsenal, Wilshere and Sanchez were amazing. Ozil needs to be played central or dropped, he says. Listen, it wouldn't be a bad shout giving Ozil a rest. He's come back from the World Cup. He's obviously not up to speed yet. Just ease him back in. That's my opinion. You ain't got to throw him in deep. We've got so many options there. We haven't even seen Rosicky this season. Corzola, we can play there. There's still, you know, Oxlade-Chamberlain. So, you know, we haven't got to rush players into that position. Arsenal Transfer says, great performance. Wish we could play a diamond formation to formation so that Ozil can play centrally. Farrell says, with 15 minutes to go, you can only say it was 2 points dropped. Ahmed says, a breathtaking game, Welbeck impressive on his debut. Wilshere stepped up and answered his critics, and Sanchez's goal was different class. A couple more here. By the way, thanks for everyone who tweeted in. We had hundreds of tweets on this. Rutwick says, to sum it up from the start, great start by AFC, Arsenal. Damn you, Kun, Aguero. Wow, Wilshere, he says. Alexis, and then he says, oh, not again, but he's happy with the draw. That about sums it up for real. And I'm going to finish with this one. MLA says, Mertesacker now a weak spot for Arsenal. Oh, well, I wouldn't agree with that. And so does zonal marking during corners and free kicks. Now, this great zonal marking debate, as I said in an interview yesterday, every team in the Premier League practically, 95% of them does zonal marking. That is what most teams throughout Europe, the best defensive teams, they use zonal marking. But when you're marking zonally, if you switch off, like what we did yesterday, teams will score. If you do man-to-man marking and you switch off, teams will score. Teams will get a run on you. We've got to keep concentrated and defend better. And I just think that at the moment, with Arsenal, as with last season, going forward, absolutely brilliant. Probably even better than last season, we're going to be with all the pace and that. But we've got to sort out that defensive side of the game. We bomb forward, we leave spaces, we get caught on the counter-attack too easily. And now the set-piece problem is creeping back in again. Yet another set-piece that we've been done from. And it's been happening practically every game this season. We must sort it out because we are leaking ridiculously stupid goals. But all in all, it was Manchester City yesterday. They're the champions. And you've got to say it was a good performance by Arsenal to get back in that game. And listen, we're going to have easier games. We're not going to be playing City every week. Although we do face Dortmund on Tuesday, which again is going to be another tough game. And we will have to defend better than what we did on Saturday. So all in all, good. Just one thing, actually, I just got to say. One of the things that I found so ridiculous on Saturday was to see Bakary Sagna warming up, running up and down the touchline all game in Manchester City colours. I'm sorry, Bakary. You left Arsenal where you started every single week. You were one of the first players on the team sheet. To go to Manchester City to warm the bench at your stage in your career, at your age, 31. That's what you've gone to do. I love Bakary Sagna when he was at Arsenal. I didn't boo him yesterday. I was glad fans didn't boo him. Well, he didn't get on the pitch for us to boo him, but fans didn't give him a bad reception. But where's your ambition, man? You're not going to get in ahead of Zabaleta unless he gets injured. I just don't get it. But listen, he's past history now. I wish Debuchy, you know, he gets well soon because he's been a brilliant player so far for Arsenal. We haven't even missed Sagna, and that's saying something because Bakary Sagna was a brilliant player for Arsenal and a consistent player for Arsenal. So let's hope Debuchy gets well soon. Another injury. Oh, dear. But listen, let's just hope that Debuchy can make a speedy recovery. Apparently, the injury wasn't as bad as first thought. Well, Listen, don't forget, there's still t-shirts available. This one, lots of people asked me about this one yesterday. Yeah, it's the Welbeck 23. It's that guy. Make sure you get those there at the shop. Don't forget to keep subscribing to us here at Arsenal Fan TV. Listen, this is our new set that we're working on. Over the next few weeks, you're going to see it all coming together. We've got a load of new lights and everything. We're trying to step up, you know what I mean? We're trying to step up here at Arsenal Fan TV. So keep subscribing to us, keep supporting to us. And we'll be out there in Dortmund for the big game in Germany, first of the Champions League. And if Alexis Sanchez shows the form that he did on Saturday, we're going to be all right.
Get the Arsenal Fan TV app, available on Apple and Android now.